the guarantee? Eric?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere from the Channel Seed Studios. This is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by cellular advantage.
It is Murph and Andy, and we are live from West Des Moines, Urbandale, and Lake Lucerne, Switzerland. Hello, Andy. I don't speak German except for Danke. So how you doing?
Yeah, we're doing fine back here. That looks fairly alpine there. I can see what looks like a mountain behind you. Looks like a lake. Man, what time is it there?
It's been beautiful. It is just after 8 p.m. Here, let me try to show you a little bit of what's going on here. So that's Lake Lucerne back there, and that over that way is that's downtown Lucerne. And tomorrow we're going up into the Alps. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Well, that's awesome. Switzerland is beautiful. It looks like the weather is perfect. You've brought kind of a tiki vibe to Central Europe there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we're trying. We're having so much fun. It's so beautiful here, and the people are so friendly. I mean, it is. I know there've been some great quotes about what travel does and how travel brings people together, because you learn people are more alike than they are different when you see different cultures and different people. And this is a touristy place, of course, as you know, but like there are people from all different countries here, and you're like walking around just seeing little snapshots of the world in little family groups, and it's really cool to see. We've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, that looks fantastic, and we are happy to have you with us, and this is cool that we're able to take these shows on the road. We wanted to do that, and we've really been traveling. This show is getting around, man. We've been to.
I know. I missed the show Friday, and that's the first time I missed it, as you pointed out. I did watch the show and listen to it later, but it was hard because you get a streak like that going, you don't want to miss it. You know, you want to keep going. But that you guys did a great show. It was entertaining for me when Jenny went to sleep, as she usually does earlier than I do. I was able to watch it on my phone, and that was cool. And it's cool to be able to join you today because we're not traveling as much, and we've just walked around this town all day, and looking forward to this, and we'll still have some time ahead of us when we're done. So let's get to the Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines, setting the table for sports and more. Coming up on the show, Eastbound and Up, MLB Fry Fest, Cena's Crutch, and that is all presented by Guest House Tavern with nightly specials, including Walleye Wednesday, fresh walleye from the lake behind me, and salt and vinegar fries for just $20. Maybe that's not from the lake behind me, but that's a big lake behind me. It's one of a few green lakes in the world.
Yeah, Switzerland has a bunch of mountain lakes, Lake Geneva, and a whole bunch of others that get a lot of. Man, that's some highbrow tourism down there too. That's some of the wealthiest people in the world that have places on those Swiss lakes. Have you had any fondue yet?
Sore subject, Andy, and I wish you wouldn't have brought it up. No, we've been trying, and every time the line is out the door for the most popular places. So today we made this our fondue day, and then we both started getting a little bit uncomfortable, Jenny and I, that, I think it's going to really push the start of the show, and we might not get back in time. So we stopped somewhere else, and we had what we thought was a pepperoni pizza, but I don't know what was on it. What was that on there?
Your microphone's backwards, Aiden said.
Okay. Hey,
Let's try this.
Oh my God, that made a huge
Does that sound
difference. Yes.
Microphone was backwards.
Shout out to Aiden.
Shout out,
for
Aiden.
noticing that.
Oh my
That's
God,
what
that
it
made a
was.
huge difference.
How
Yeah,
do
it
I
sounded
sound
like-
now?
You sounded like he was
Great.
talking into a big gulp cup there for a while, but that cleared everything up. Thank God that we have a teenager working for
This
us.
is a different. This is a different blue than I have at home, and now that makes all the sense.
Now,
Okay,
Aiden, what do we
yeah.
do to figure out Murph's camera here? He looks like he's rubbed the lens with Vaseline.
Oh yeah,
You-
just
we-
get right up here and.
We're-
Yeah,
we're
there you
gonna-
go.
We're
How's
going to
that?
hear more from Aiden as the show goes on. Yeah. Keith was vacationing backwards, but okay. What were we doing here? We were doing the Guest House Tavern lineup here.
Yeah, we were
I
basically
digress.
talking about how I haven't had any fondue.
Fondue,
But right
yeah.
now, let's get to high or low since the last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
They've got all the answers for you, whether you're planning your retirement or you just have questions about how to maximize your money, make it work as hard as it can for you. You can reach Tim Hawkins and his company there at wealthcharterretirement.com. Oh, man, I forgot my tomato. The tomatoes are ripe in my garden. I'm going high. This is one of my favorite times of the year. I work really hard, plant all this stuff, and they're ripe, and I forgot to bring them upstairs with me into the podcast room. But I got a whole bunch of ripe tomatoes. And what was that, a boat in the background?
That was Jenny. She had a lot of cheese for lunch.
Shrimp salad. Yeah. So, yeah, the garden is starting to kick ass. Sweet corn is ripe. Basil is ripe. You can start having all the summer favorite cucumbers, all that stuff. Summer favorites on the menu at our house.
Well, my high is when Aiden sent a message that said your microphone is backwards, and I was able to spin it around. No, my high is just having a great vacation. This is not a trip. This is a vacation. Now, it would be better if we were able to take 2 weeks, because that first 2 days is nothing but travel, and it is a slog to get through, and you have to power through it without going to bed. And yes, these are problems that are nice to be able to have, but still, it's exhausting, and you do just have to power through. And we powered through it, and then we got to Zurich, and we were really tired, but we had a great time there. Met a lot of really nice people from all over the world. The Swiss flag is immediately recognizable to anybody in the world because of Swiss Army knives, because of Swiss watches. You had me thinking about these, timepieces. Timepieces are for sale everywhere. I did see one in a window. I thought, Andy told me I should get a timepiece. That looks pretty good. It's in American dollars is around $17,000. So I passed on that. I thought maybe it'd be like $100. So I don't think I'm leaving here with a really nice timepiece. There's no light beer. There's no American beer. We haven't seen any American beer in Switzerland. No, you can't even. You request it and they go in the back and find it for you. It's just not here.
Don't drink it. Drink the Swiss beer.
Well, we just once in a while. It's like
Shitty light beer when you get back here. Come on.
Could use some light beer, something that's not 6 to 10% alcohol. This, by the way, this is water with bubbles, sparkling water. Water with bubbles, not a beer. Just if you see me chugging.
You have to request still water in Europe when you want it.
I prefer this. This is good. One day, this was one of those unexpected fun things. One day it started raining, so we went into the train station in Zurich, which is a huge, mammoth facility, and it was a very busy train station. And they had a basketball court set up in there, and there was some kind of tournament going on. But we just sat there on the edge of a restaurant pub, and for several hours, we just drank beer, had snacks, and people watched, like world-class people watching. And we did that thing we do sometimes where we try to figure out who looks like who. Like, oh, there's Swiss Andy Fales, and oh, look, there's German Andrew Downs. We find people who look like somebody we know. And we had such a good time. I mean, as you know, there's a lot of fun you can have just watching. You don't have to go spend a lot of money. You can just see the world looking at it. And we've done a lot of that. Tomorrow we are going to do a big excursion here at Lake Lucerne. We're going to take a boat for more than an hour. Then the boat drops us off, and some kind of train takes us up the side and we gondola down and catch a bus at some point, and then eventually come back here. So, looking forward to that. And we're at the same hotel that Andrew Downs' parents recommended, the Montana.
Oh, no way.
The Montana?
Yeah, we're at the Montana. Yeah, we're at the. I would like to have seen Montana.
Well, great. Okay, that it does look really nice. Yeah, that looks like you got some stormy. Did you have some stormy weather there?
We did. It's rained quite a bit. Yeah. It reached the point where Jenny actually asked, "Is this country known for getting a lot of rain? Like London is?" But I don't really even know. I know it gets really cold here, but it is breathtakingly beautiful. And as I told you, Andy, that since I was a kid, I'd see these, calendars and postcards and posters of Switzerland. I just thought, man, that looks like the most beautiful place in the world. I want to get there before I die. And I'm finally here, and it has not disappointed. And I'm glad we came this time of year. In my mind, I'm picturing like snow-covered Swiss chalets, and it's skiing season and that kind of stuff. But I understand Jenny not wanting to leave Iowa in January and come someplace equally cold with more snow.
Yeah. Save the Caribbean vacations for the winter time like that, so you can escape. No, this is the time to do that. Yeah, there's no snow up on the peaks there, but I bet you could find some snow when you get higher into the mountains. There was quite a bit of snow on the mountains in Norway when I was there, so I bet you'll find some when you go out there. There's some.
I think we're going to see some snow tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're going to see some snow tomorrow, because this was for those who are watching, panning Lake Lucerne here. This is taken from where I'm sitting right now. I took this video off our balcony, and you can see the Swiss Alps back there on the other side of the lake, and they are snow covered. So we may see some of that tomorrow, and looking forward to that. In the meantime, let's get the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
All right, the buzz in early August here is that William Byron has won the Iowa Corn 350 at sold-out Iowa Speedway. Now, first of all, Andy, when I say William Byron, doesn't he sound like he would have been one of our presidents?
Yeah, William Howard Byron. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It does.
Yeah,
William Byron was
Byron.
president from 1888 to 1892. So he wins the Iowa Corn 350, and I did not watch this. What little bit I've read about it sounds like everybody was expecting William Byron would run out of fuel before the race ended, but they took a chance. And then not only did he had enough fuel to get to the end, but he had enough to do a burnout and still get to victory lane. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of races being decided by who does the best job of calculating fuel, but that's part of what worked for William Byron.
That's a good shot right there. Yeah, a full house there, a packed house. That's what Iowa needed. They needed to show NASCAR that we showed up for this race, and that we really appreciate having it. I'll be honest. I didn't talk to a lot of people. Not a lot of people that I knew that went to that race. I know a lot of these. NASCAR is very popular in Iowa, so I'm sure there are thousands of Iowans there. But it's also one of those things where you've got a cup race. There are a lot of people that come in from out of state, and places like Newton and Des Moines. They want that. You want that out of state traffic. But it looked good. I don't know anything about William Byron. Actually, and it had been a while since I'd really watched much NASCAR. And the thing that jumped out to me is how the cars have kind of had a redesign. They've been modernized. The shape of the car looks more like, I don't know, I guess Camaros that you see out on Chevy lots these days, or whatever that's supposed to look like. Maybe it's a Dodge Charger or something. But it just looks a little bit more modern. Those are cool looking race cars they've got right now. That looks like a badass car.
I did like the early years of racing, like in the 1970s, 1980s. You would see the cars in the Daytona 500, and then the same version of that car, you could see it going down the highway.
Yeah.
You know, it just didn't have the numbers and stripes painted on it and stuff, and you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's what, I don't know, Richard Petty was driving that car out there at the Daytona 500, but they haven't looked much like the same car on the highway for a while, but...
Yeah, look at those.
That is one of the cool parts. Yeah, like this. Good pull, AD. Yeah, this could be at the Speedway, or this could be on I-35.
Yeah,
and they're all
I mean,
different.
look at that.
That's the thing that really
They're all
jumps out to
different,
me.
yeah.
They're all different. I'm not used to NASCAR. They're not stock cars.
This would have been like in the mid 70s. You've got like a Ford Torino and a Chevy Monte Carlo. Is that like an AMC? Is that an AMC there? That the one over on the right, kind of one in the middle of the shot? There's like a Dodge Charger in there. There's all sorts of different makes. Now they all do look exactly the same. It is kind of sad, but I can understand. Some of those things just don't look very aerodynamic, do they? Big flat nose.
No, they don't. They don't. And this is the era where a guy might be driving while smoking. He might be smoking as he's driving. There might be a fist fight at the end of the race. Some guy could drink a beer right there in the car. Those were different times, and those were fun times. Now the Snowman's holler from Smokey and the Bandit was at the I-4. The Snowman went eastbound. And not eastbound and down, eastbound and up slightly, because it headed to Watkins Glen. But look at this magnificent hauler. That's a thing of beauty right there.
That is. That's awesome. Yeah. You see that thing go down the road, you stop and take a picture.
Jeez.
Talladega. Look at that big old rig. Guy's got like a bunk bed, and I've always been interested in
There is
those
no
rigs.
way you could come from my loins. A lot of insults in Smokey and the Bandit. But there, it's beautiful. Thanks for sending that, Chad. Quickie poll is from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
Of these racing movies, which your favorite? Is it Cars, Days of Thunder, the new F1, or Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby?
I'll go with Days of Thunder here. That's one of those movies when it's on. I stop and watch 15 minutes at least. I can get up and leave, but I do like Days of Thunder. And Cars, I don't know. Once you have kids and there are movies like Cars that you can sit there and watch with your kids and not be miserable, you really appreciate that. Cars is great.
Yeah, Cars is really good, and it's got good racing too, which is cool. But I'm going Talladega Nights like the majority of our audience so far. Ricky Bobby, it's so funny. It's so damn funny.
It is. It is funny. It ebbs and flows a little bit more than I remember the last time I watched it, but yeah, it's good. And
It's got
Days
some
of Thunder,
great moments.
It does have some great moments. And Cars is one of those movies I'm thankful for because I watched it so many times with the kids, and you don't mind watching it as an adult, so you appreciate those kind of movies. But not a lot of support there for F1, for a movie that's past the $500 million mark this year. I'm kind of surprised by that. All right, that is the Quickie poll. You can interact on YouTube. On X, it's Murph_Andy. The email is Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. It is all powered by the Cellular Advantage, including here in Switzerland, proudly representing U.S. Cellular since 1993 with 35 regional locations. Some more hot topics here on a Monday. The MLB Speedway Classic. This kind of dovetails nicely out of racing here. But he draws a record 91,000 fans. But the thing that interested me as I was catching up some on what happened in sports is that Saturday, the amount of people that compared it to Fry Fest, there was just
Fyre
lines. Fyre Fest, yeah, Fyre. Now Fry Fest. Fry Fest is that's in Iowa City.
Hayden Fry,
honoring Hayden Fry. Yeah, Fyre Fest. I think it was spelled like Fyre. Was it Fyre? Fyre Fest. But Fyre Fest, hot dogs without buns. chips without cheese, lines that took 90 minutes to 2 hours to get up there, and then they didn't have food or they were out of beer and soda. A lot of people just asking, how could they not have known how much it was going to take to serve 91,000 people? And then the rains came and they tried to keep it going. They played the monsoon for a while, but they eventually had to finish it up on Sunday. So Braves and Reds, Braves eventually win. Did you watch any of this?
I didn't even know it was going on, as a matter of fact. Where is this? This is, what is this, somewhere down in the mountains?
This is Bristol Speedway in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
And the 91,000 is now, that's a new all-time Major League Baseball record for a regular season game. So they got 91,000 in there, and they had to postpone it all the way over to Sunday. And there was a really awkward moment on Saturday. The broadcasters are all talking about whether the game's going to be resumed, and there's a guy behind them pointing up at the scoreboard where it says that it's been postponed and will be resumed Sunday. And somehow the producers didn't get word to the 4 people out on the desk that it's already been postponed. It's being resumed on Sunday, and that made for one more Fyre Fest type moment.
What I'm wondering here is, did they have people there like explaining baseball to the NASCAR fans that showed up? I'm at least half serious here, because they've done that like with NASCAR races before. They've had, people there kind of explaining to the non-NASCAR fans who were there for the first time, what's going on and the strategy that goes into racing.
Sure.
And I wonder, and there are a lot of NASCAR fans where that's their sport and that's it. They don't do anything else. So I wonder if it goes the other way too, and they have to. Yeah, you would think that baseball is ingrained enough in America that everybody understands how it goes, but I wonder. I mean, it's a mildly interesting gimmick. It's not the same. It's not of the ilk of having basketball games on battleships and hockey games outside in the middle of wintertime. I think those are a lot more inspired. This one seems a little bit more contrived, but baseball needs some help, I think, in generating interest. And Tennessee doesn't have a team, so maybe that maybe it end up they end up feeling at Major League Baseball this was a big hit.
Yeah, Andrew Shipley writes, and AD had it up on the screen, that he had a friend who went, said the concession crisis was not as bad as some people posted, because the game was delayed 2.5 hours before it even started. Yeah. And that was more the culprit of the food shortage. So you can see where that would happen when you're in a long delay and people don't want to sit out in the rain. So they're up in the concourses, they're buying more beer, they're buying more food, and they run out really early, and then people are getting agitated. I still don't know how you can get to the point where you're selling hot dogs that aren't in buns. Like, at some point you just got to say, we don't have any hot dogs, instead of handing people 2 wieners in a boat.
Well, we all understand, though, the mismatch between hot dogs and buns. I mean, and the quantities sold of each never line up. So you either
That's
run
right.
out of one or the other first. They never go down together. You would think, though, that they would have it within the same ballpark, no pun intended, where this only happens a few times, not over and over again. But cheese without chips,
Right.
now, come on, man, you can't do that. It's better to run out of salsa before running out of chips. Imagine that applies to cheese too. You can't just eat the cheese.
Yeah.
You can just eat the
Yep.
chips.
So refresh my memory here. So there are more buns than there are hot dogs, or more hot dogs than there are buns, because people do get irritated that they don't match up.
Well,
in Father of the Bride, he was tearing open the bun bags and pulling out 2.
Yeah.
I feel like he had more.
The
More
buns were
buns than
sold in
dogs.
packs of 10, and the hot dogs are in packs of 12, and he did not want to pay for 2 extra buns.
There you go.
Because he was paying through the nose for everything at his daughter's wedding. Yeah, Garen Zankers point out. I mean, just you gotta have a few loaves of bread, right? I mean, you gotta be prepared. You run out of buns, you serve it to somebody and a slice of bread. But honestly, though, if you start running out of that stuff, then you have to give the stuff away, and then just say we're out, right? I mean, you can't keep selling a hot dog at regular price or nachos at regular price if you've run out of half of the ingredients.
When was the last concession crisis in Iowa? Was it the George Strait, Chris Stapleton concert up at Jack Trice Stadium? There were a lot of frustrated people with beer lines, right?
Yeah,
do I have that right?
Yep, absolutely. It took forever to get a beer.
There have been a number of water crises. Hinterland had a really bad one last year. I think Jack Trice Stadium in Ames had one also, where you get to the point where we are to the point now where you have to give water away. Mm-hmm. You have to allow people to bring in their own water. And you cannot run out of water. You can't do that anymore, right? And you can't, I think you have to be prepared to always give water away, whether it's bottle filling stations or giving away bottled water itself. The days of having, nothing but bottled water that you have to buy, I think that thankfully those days are gone.
Now, my high school football coach would disagree that you have to have water, but he would have heaters available. He'd have some darts available.
Your high school football coach would have never been caught dead buying a bottle of water.
No.
He would drink out of the hose. Yeah. I mean, we were all raised on hose water. I drank garden hose. I still drink garden hose water.
And and you could taste the rubber, you could taste the hose. It would change the taste of the water. Yeah, my high school football coach, you might catch him drinking out of a bottle of whiskey on the sideline, but not a bottle of water. No chance. No chance. All right, Brock Lesnar returned to the WWE. I don't have to tell you this, Andy, what a big moment this was. Surprising moment. Shocking development. And then Cody Rhodes won the belt. Again, I don't have to tell you any of this. You know this, and that's his natural hair color. But John Cena went ringside and got an assist from Tyrese Halliburton by taking Tyrese's crutch and then breaking it over someone's head.
Oh, no. That's really thoughtless.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
High drama.
That's like taking a ride on somebody's wheelchair.
Man, that was big moments last night.
He needed that. You can't take
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, but walking around like Tiny Tim after that with one crutch. You can't do that. Come on.
Oh man, AD, how much you pay to watch this?
$0. Yeah, no, I saw it was going on.
Okay,
I did see some stuff about it this week, but yeah.
Couldn't miss it.
I like that first picture, Andrew. The guy is just blown away. He is not prepared for that level of surprise. Look at that guy. That guy is shitting himself right there. He's so shocked. He's like, "Oh my god, who's this guy again?"
It happened. Brock Lesnar.
That's Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Wasn't he bald? What's he got? Wasn't he? Was he? Oh no, he had like a mohawk.
Oh, he's got a hat on.
Yeah, but didn't he have a mohawk when he was a wrestler? I don't know.
That's an aggressive shirt too. I don't know what's on that shirt. That's aggressive. But hey, guys, I'm glad you're talking to me here today as people on the street are starting to look up to the crazy man who's shouting from his balcony. But you can help me with this because I got another interesting email. Here's the latest email that's come in. Dear Keith, this is my third attempt to reach you. Costco is interviewing qualified candidates like you for open jobs near you. Please use the prompt I've attached below to reveal how to verify an interview, as these jobs are filling quickly. Thanks for your attention. Your rep, Alex. Now, this has my name on it. The last letter I brought to your attention did not. Now, you think this is legit?
Well, let's go through our checklist here. Weird capitalization. That's a big red flag right off the bat here. Lowercase Keith, uppercase rep. No last name. a big, fat, verify interview button, which just immediately starts sucking away your Social Security savings.
Qualified readers only. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, this is somebody in a foreign country that's put this thing together. He had me at Costco there for a moment. I'm always down for a trip to Costco.
It does sound more legit, I think, than I feel like this is a job I might be qualified to go and apply for. When it sounds too good to be true, like we think you could be the new host of Jeopardy, just click on this button or something like that. This sounds like it could be real, and maybe that's part of it. Its appeal. I'm not sure.
It is a little ironic that we're talking about Costco when Murph is in Europe, because there is nothing more American than Costco. Gigantic portions.
Here it's called co-op.
A shopping cart that is bigger than some of the buses in Europe that you're pushing down the aisle, and you are loading up. You could easily load up a bomb shelter or a house for a family of 18 at Costco. They'll have like 2 shopping carts with them sometimes.
Yeah.
Bottles of booze that are like measured in gallons. Just huge portions of things. And that's so America. It's so not Europe. I can only imagine you'd shock the hell out of somebody straight out of Europe by taking them to Costco.
It is kind of expensive here, so a few people have sent me tips that, like when you just want something to eat and you're not going to sit down for a couple of hours, go to something called, we think it's Co-op, but it also could be Coop. I don't know. I think it's Co-op, but CO and then the OP are in a different color, and they're everywhere. And they're like Costco's of Switzerland. They have food. They have they have a place you can eat there. You can also shop for groceries and stuff like that. They're all over the place. The other interesting thing, we saw an Aldi today in downtown Lucerne. Yeah. There's an Aldi. Yeah. We saw a Dunkin' Donuts.
Company.
And when we got here, so Friday, we got into Zurich, and we're walking around and we just can't believe that nothing's open. And Jenny and I are talking about it. We're saying, well, maybe, they're just so laid back here. They eat dinner so late. Maybe restaurants don't open until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. We just couldn't figure it out. And there was nothing open. The barber shops weren't open. The souvenir stores weren't open. There was nothing. So the first place I got anything to drink was McDonald's, because it was the only thing we could find open. Well, it turns out August 1st is a Swiss national holiday. It's their July 4th. So it was a national holiday. We didn't know this somehow.
Who did they gain independence from?
I'm sure there's a story there. Jenny, who did Switzerland gain independence from? I know they're very neutral. They're known for being neutral. I saw a guy in a red hat that said, "Make Switzerland neutral again."
Oh, really? Really? Yeah, they crazy neutral. Like didn't even take up arms against the Nazis. They really neutral to a fault.
That's too neutral.
Yeah, it's too neutral. Switzerland is it's a cool country. It's weird though. I mean, they have they do some weird things. It used to be that like they had tunnels underground where the entire population of Switzerland could go underground and seemingly survive a nuclear war. I don't remember seeing any tunnels or anything when I was there, but that's kind of a famous story about Switzerland. But yeah, they stay out of it, and that's probably it's probably more often that's a good thing than a bad thing.
Yeah, it is expensive here, but we are mostly accounting for the difference in the American dollar and the Swiss franc by tipping. There's such a difference in the tipping. Tipping's not expected, but if you had really good service, you can round up. Like say it's $43, they encourage you to like round up to 45. But that's a significant difference in a 20-25% tip. So and many times they don't even give you the option to tip because they just you pay the bill and that's what it is, and they hand you the receipt back and you don't even have an opportunity to try to tip. So that's kind of making it even out a little bit. Otherwise, you would think, boy, this is really expensive.
I think a lot of the stuff there, the goods, like if you were to get a watch, for example, those are heavily, the taxes are built in. I think it's very heavily taxed, but it's taxed to Swiss citizens. This is the way it works in Norway too. It's taxed to Swiss citizens, and I think you can get all of your tax money back at the airport when you leave, or you can opt out of it before that and save a bunch of money. You can remove a bunch of cost from the retail price of something by figuring that in when you're not from Switzerland.
Now here's Caleb Kai McGilvery in his famous Fox interview describing how he used a hatchet to stop a man who rammed into pedestrians in Fresno, California.
He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I f***ing ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
The lady said you saved her life.
She was the one who got grabbed by that f***er. You know what? F*** is cool. That guy ain't. Shit.
How'd you get in his car? How did you?
I was hitchhiking. Good thing I was hitchhiking. Yeah, people say don't hitchhike. Well, this is what happens. At least I was here.
So he did this on purpose?
Dude, that guy was fucking cooked out, man. Like, he's beyond howley. Like, I don't even see any breath in him, you know what I'm saying?
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai? Can I get spelling for you, buddy?
Straight out of Dogtown, K-A-I.
K-A-I, do you have a last name?
No, bro, I don't have anything.
Where are you from originally? Are you from Fresno area?
Sophia, West Virginia.
No kidding. How old are you?
I can't call it.
Okay.
That's Andrew's favorite line.
I can't call it.
I can't call it. Oh, man.
Things went south for that guy later on.
Is that right?
I think he might still be in prison. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
There was like a documentary on him on Netflix, right?
Did it involve a hatchet?
The crime? No. Andrew, did he kill somebody?
I think he did. I think he said it was self-defense. Like another person who picked him up.
Yeah.
And he said the guy was like trying to assault him, and he ended up killing him.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think he's been convicted.
Yeah. He
that took
a
dark turn.
It did. Yeah. Yeah.
Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence, proudly serving the new light lager Old Tavern. Confluence not available in Switzerland yet, but anything's possible the way they keep growing. Now, let's get some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Great patio weather for Either Or over at 6222 Grand Avenue. Had a very busy weekend out there. Drove by a couple of times. Beautiful place to check out, and this is a good time to do it too. As we ramp up to the state fair and you want to pay regular prices for food, hit up a place like Either Or before you go to the fair, and then you won't spend your life savings. Speaking of the fair, the forecast for this first weekend of the state fair, we've had a beautiful weekend here, Murph. It was in the 70s all weekend. Just absolutely gorgeous out. And we're thinking, wow, maybe we'll end up having some very unfair-like weather, and it'll be like this all week. Not going to be the case. We're going to get some rain midweek, and then the heat rolls in. Forecast for the first weekend of the state fair, 93 degrees with a heat index over 100. So
that's
you're going to feel like the state fair at the state fair. Rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. This is strange. She was a big star on WKRP in Cincinnati, big time sex symbol of the 70s. Ended up marrying Burt Reynolds, right? They were married for a while, it seemed like. And it's strange seeing sex symbols age, right? Because your image of them is probably set early on, and at least in my brain, it's set early on, and it doesn't really change.
Right.
You see them as one look for the rest of your life, but of course they age like everybody else, and then they get old, and they kind of go one or two ways. They either look completely different back when they were a sex symbol, or they try really hard to hang on to that look forever, and then it eventually starts getting away from them. I believe she's 79. I believe she passed away at age 79.
She was one of the few people that took the Love Boat to Fantasy Island. Like, she did both. There was a while there where she was showing up as a guest on just about every show.
Oh yeah, she was in those like Battle of the Network stars and stuff. She was everywhere, right. Posters and that. Yeah, Lonnie Anderson. Rest in peace. Britain's most tattooed man is having trouble watching adult websites now because of the new age check rules in Great Britain. So he calls himself the King of Ink, and he actually did legally change his name to that. It used to be Matthew Whalen. Now he's now the King of Ink. He can't get past the face checks on porn sites. He holds his phone up to his face, and they keep telling him, you're wearing a mask, take off your mask. Of course, he can't. He's got it tattooed. That's ink. He's not sure what he's going to do here, and I don't know that they're going to adapt the rules in Great Britain just to fit a guy like this. Look at this, though. He's got like some kind of chiclet, like permanently attached to his chin. He's tattooed his eyeballs.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
I like the fact that he's still real careful with his hair and his goatee. Oh, it's way too much. Way too much. From the bowels of Instagram, I want to play this before Scott is back on Friday, and he tells me that it's all AI, and he ruins it. A couple that falls together stays together. Oh.
Oh my. Ow.
Oh man, you knew that wasn't going to turn out. Oh. Oh, this is not going well. No.
What the fuck are you doing? All right, Jeffrey. Next day you're gone. Before you run, you gotta learn how to cry. You held it down.
I mean, with the advent of the Ring cameras and everybody having a camera on their phone now, it is showing us that things don't always work out in the United States, and very often they go like as wrong as they can possibly go. You think Marty says all of those are legit? You think that's all legit? Is Scott going to tell us that some of that's AI?
Probably. I don't think it is, but he probably will tell you that it is.
Just ruined that British van fest for me, for Andrew too. Ruined it for everybody on Friday. It was not welcome. From the files of some headlines,
couldn't wait to do it.
No, he couldn't wait. He loved it. Yeah, he loves doing that stuff. From the files of some headlines, don't need stories. We'll bring you this: man caught in Nebraska bathroom with bag of meth, no pants. Police in Grand Island, Nebraska, arrested a man they found in a park bathroom with drugs and his private parts exposed. Police discovered that Edward Cena had been previously banned from all parks in Grand Island and was not
his
supposed
last
to be
name
there.
Is Sinner.
Yeah. I don't know. At some point, maybe he was just like, look, I got this last name. I can't really change it. I may as well just lean into it and just own it, right? On this day in 2012, in London, Oscar Pistorius becomes the first amputee runner to compete at the Olympics. In an opening heat of the men's 400 meters, Pistorius finished second out of 5 runners and advanced to the semifinals, where he finished 8th out of 8 runners. This is the regular Olympics, not the Paralympics. And then, so he's going on in this. He was just a huge star. It was absolutely incredible. He's from South Africa. They don't have a lot of stars down there. People were nuts. He was a national hero. And then a year later, his whole story is ruined when he's accused of murdering his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. He's eventually convicted. And that's pretty much the last time we said anything positive about Oscar Pistorius. Let's finish up with 2 truths and a lie.
You, sir, are a liar. Liar, liar, your pants are on fire!
Okay, on the subject of State Fair weather, as we are in State Fair week, that's the theme of 2 truths and a lie. 2 of these things are true, 1 is not. You tell me which is which. Okay. In 2004, only 3 of the State Fair's 11 days even reached 80 degrees.
Damn.
In the last 60 years, the temperature at the fair has only reached 100 degrees 6 times. And all 6 of those days were in the same year. Number 3. In 1936, hot temperatures and a busy schedule forced the State Fair Board to move the fair to October. And that year, there was an overnight temperature that was in the upper 30s. 2 truths and a lie.
Wow. A 100-degree factoid, at least as presented by you, that is actual temperature, not the feels like temperature.
No, actual temperature. Actual temperature.
That still feels low. 6 still feels low, especially all in one year. But I can't imagine they'd actually move the fair to October, even in the 30s. So that's where I'm wrestling between number 2 and number 3. I think I'll say I believe there's been more than 6 100-degree days in the last 60 years of the fair. I think number 2 is the lie.
Murph?
I think that's the lie, too. I really want to get this one right.
No, that is not the lie. That was 6 100-degree days in 1983. All of them there within that fair. The part about moving the fair to October is bullshit.
I was close.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
That's your more, everybody.
That was a good one. The fact that you went so far back in time, it seemed like something you probably learned from the fair board this week, but not the case. All right, now time for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family in all their locations, including Boone, Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, and Creston. Authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Andy, we'll start with you. Fall camp is underway for college football. Iowa is finally getting full reps from incoming quarterback Mark Gronowski. It's been since 2020 that the Hawkeyes have used just one starting quarterback during a season. Barring injury and garbage time, do you expect to see more than one Iowa quarterback take significant snaps this season?
No, I don't. I think he's going to be healthy, and I think that Kirk Ferentz is going to stick with him. If he's healthy, you know he's not switching. He doesn't like to do that at all. I mean, he's got to be forced into that position. I think he is going to be healthy. I say that they make it all the way through the whole year with just Gronowski.
I agree, and I think he's played enough football, even though it was a level down, that they know what they're getting. The only question about him really is his health. If he's at 100%, Iowa's going to be in good shape at the quarterback position, and he'll play the whole season.
Murph, the preseason coaches poll is out. The top 5 are Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and Notre Dame. Do you believe that this year's national champion is in that top 5?
Ooh, so I look at that as, would I take this top 5 or the rest of the field? I would take this top 5. I mean, you can look at the top and really expect the teams that have the best players and spend the most money to have the best shot of winning it all, yeah, I would take the 5 over the field.
I think I might take Texas, Ohio State, and Georgia over the whole field, right? Just take 3 of them there. You're that confident that they've completely restacked their decks and they're that good. And without Nick Saban in Alabama anymore, I don't believe in that kind of, where Alabama somehow wouldn't be picked that high. And then as the season began, you're like, oh, that's right. They're still Alabama. He's still Nick Saban, and they're great. I think the national champion is going to come out of those top 5.
All right, Andy, we had the windows open all weekend, but it's getting a bit warmer, upper 70s today, into the 80s tomorrow, kind of slowly warmer, as you pointed out, to the weekend. Finish this sentence. I will leave the air off until it hits blank degrees inside my house.
Oh,
I'm wrestling with this today because it's like, we're going to push mid-70s. It starts to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, I until it's like in the 70s at night or something. Yeah, we're like in your house, it's 70s at night. I don't want that. Then it's time to turn it on. I think if it gets to 80 degrees outside at this time of the year, I mean, early on when I've not turned on the air conditioning yet, and I'm trying to get my streak going as long as possible, then maybe I won't turn it on. But at this point, I've used air a lot. I like it. It's fine. I'm used to being really comfortable. It hits 80 degrees outside. I click the air back on.
About 3 months ago, I made the mistake of changing the setting on our thermostat, and I won't do that again. I'm no longer allowed to touch it.
Yeah, and Kevin points out the air quality has been bad. It hasn't been like hazy in the house or anything. So we didn't really notice that.
It's smoky.
Yeah, it's smoky in my house usually anyway. That's Throwdowns.
Hey, did you guys notice the sun has set here during?
Oh yeah,
it's gone down. The temperature has fallen about 10 degrees during our show
Jenny
here.
sent us a photo of you in action there, Murph.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I got a cloth between my legs. This was a sweat cloth to begin. Remember Pat Dix, Andy? He'd walk around with the sweat cloth on his shoulder. He would always have it there because he sweat so much, and he'd be patting himself. So I had this beginning of the show. Now it's completely comfortable and not hot at all. So there you go. Hey, send your Grimaldi's fan photos like Jenny just did, although she had a direct connection to Andrew, to Murph_Andy at IowaEverywhere.com. It's presented by Grimaldi's Coal Brick Oven Pizzeria in West Des Moines and the District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny, where the pizza is much better than the pizza we had for dinner tonight when we didn't think we had time to get fondue.
This is from Saturday night down at the National Balloon Classic in Indianola. I took this picture. They had a really cool drone show, which was just we weren't sure what to expect. It was fascinating. This is like the future of Sky Entertainment, but it was a great night down there. So we had fun.
And those are all like programmed, right? The drones, and so they just fly in those perfect little formations. I wonder if that'll.
Wild. I mean, they did it for it was like probably 20-minute long show, and they just rearranged, and they turn off and then reappear somewhere else in the sky. It was wild.
Yeah, it is crazy. I wonder if it'll get to the point where that's boring, right? Where it's just it's so good. It's just like basically having a big TV screen in the sky.
It is time for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day, and we call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, game day, Men's Health. I go to Ankeny. Andy goes to West Des Moines. You can go to North Liberty. Wherever you are, there's a game day near you. Check them out. They can help you with a bevy of things, including testosterone replacement therapy, which is what they do for me each week. The Portland Pickles are a collegiate summer baseball wooden bat team, and they had fan appreciation night on Saturday. As part of the event, they pulled a fan out of the crowd and gave them a legitimate at-bat during the game. And here's what happened.
Payoff pitch. High fly ball. Left center field. Are you kidding me? 4 letters, 1 word.
awesome.
Incredible.
That is incredible, and the call is good too. It's almost like one of your foreign language calls.
Yes,
that's
really good
the
call.
guy is the shirt is open and everything.
Yeah, the jersey
and
they gave him doesn't even match
Yeah.
what the team was wearing during that game. They just had like a random jersey. I do feel bad for the pitcher who's like pitching in a real game, and some random guy.
This
goes
guy
yard
takes him
on
deep. Yeah,
How does the
that
Wooden
part of it's
Bat
not
League
good,
have
but-
an announcer that good? That guy sounded like totally professional.
He did, and some people see this as the Savannah bananization of baseball, this kind of thing. But look how much people enjoyed that. That was fun. All right, we have quickie poll results from WCI Pools and Spas.
Of these racing movies, which is your favorite? Talladega Nights is your leader, 41% of the vote. 34% say Days of Thunder. 19% will pick Cars. And only 6% have picked F1. I imagine just haven't had enough people see that yet. And it's up against a couple of all-time favorites. No doubt.
And it does feel like
three all-time
F1 will get into that cycle of like on all the time, and people will start to watch. I guess it's different now without cable, but I think in a few years F1 will get a few more votes.
And I have to remind myself that Ricky Bobby's actual title is Talladega Nights. I mean, it just in my head, it's like, oh, Ricky Bobby's on. We should watch Ricky Bobby, but it is Talladega Nights. Well, thank you for being part of Murph and Andy from West Des Moines, Urbandale, and Lucerne. It was really fun to be here with you, and I appreciate it. I'm sure the technology hasn't been perfect, but thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us. And for the patience of me having my microphone backwards to begin the show. We'll make sure that doesn't happen Wednesday. Thank you for supporting local media here on Iowa Everywhere. Please like and subscribe. Invite your friends to the party. I think we're getting closer to a big landmark number there with the subscriptions. So please, if you haven't done that, hit that. It helps us out, helps Iowa Everywhere, helps our sponsors, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for your patience here with us today, and we're back Wednesday, and we hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.